Hey y'all, what is going on? How are y'all doing today? It's kind of a cold day out for me today. Ooh, lights. There we go. A little more ambiance going on there. All right, still got some window light. I should have fixed that, but we're okay. We're fine. Oh, the audio is a little strong for me over here. I gotta turn that down. You can always turn it up for you if you're wanting it. All right, so welcome to another co-working stream today. I hope everyone is doing pretty all right where you're tuning in from. We got some chill tunes going. We got some tea in our mug, and we're gonna be working on some Astrojs and Algolia combos today. So we worked on this a little bit on Monday, and we ran into some significant issues at the end. Things just weren't working, which kind of surprised me a little bit. So we had to figure that out off stream, and luckily, the Discord community for the Astrojs framework is super handy. They're super active in there, and the team there they were able to help me out. I posted during the stream about it in their Discord, and later on that day they were able to get back to me. And as it turned out, it wasn't anything in my code. Certain front end npm packages have some very window based, DOM based pieces to them, and the underlying compiler, which is Vite and Snowpack and all that good stuff, they weren't doing some transformations they were supposed to. And luckily, in the next branch, it was good to go. So we got up and running off screen a little bit, but we're better today, and we're going to be doing some fun stuff. So let's go ahead and dive into it. But feel free as we go along, ask questions about what we're working on, or Jamstack, or Algolia, or whatever you've got. I'd love to talk about it. Ooh, gotta scooch myself over. There we go. All right. All right, so what we got going on, right? I've got a Netlify project. Actually, let's pull that GitHub up real fast. That allows for people without servers to do some data ingest from YouTube, which is super handy. And there's this nice like deploy to Netlify button. I'll post this over in chat if anyone wants to actually go deploy one of these. Basically, it can take any YouTube channel's worth of content, ingest it into an Algolia database, into an Algolia index, and then you've got kind of this Algolia powered search engine for your videos. Originally, I had all the YouTube embeds here, and that was just really heavy, and that wasn't what I wanted to do long term. And I kind of just had this really simple front end built in 11D, just because I needed some environment variable stuff. I never planned on it being a big front end, but I got to thinking about it, and I'm like, what if we could actually build this in a way that became a dashboard for doing this? So I've got a few serverless functions in this Git repo that allow you to do a few cool things. You can get a whole bunch of videos ingested from a specific channel. You can then, when a new video is added to that channel, you can use if this then that to fire this serverless function, which goes and hits the YouTube API and gets that specific video's content and ingests it into our index. And then there's this big function that's going to take all the videos in the index and then update all their statistics. So I'm using stuff like comment count, like count, view count to actually create some ranking algorithm to kind of weight these things as they kind of go on. So I did all that. But I think we can do some interesting things like having these functions being able to be fired from a button in our dashboard or things along that. So I've got a little list somewhere around here. Plan.txt, there it is, of some things that we need to do. So like right now, we're in the process of converting over from 11D to Astro because I wanted to have some little interactive bits, and I wanted to play with Astro in all fairness. And I think we need to add some links because I don't have that. And actually, that's not in my index anyway because it's not provided by YouTube in the API. At least I don't think that it is. We could look at that and see if we could update that. But right now, what I've got is actually a whole bunch of dev channels kind of plopped into one index. And I should actually see if I can pull up. I got to pull it up on another one. We might need to do some testing, so I need to actually pull up. Ooh, got a lot of stuff going on here. Let's open up a new window for this and close out of all this other good stuff. Minimize. That's streaming life. All right, so we need Algolia, and we're gonna go to our dashboard just so I can kind of test and take a look at my data a little bit better. Hopefully I'm still logged in. All right, let's see. This is from a demo I was doing earlier. We actually want to be in my unnamed application, and we'll go into all of our search indexes here, dev YouTube search. And so you can see here, we actually have a decent bit of data on each of these. So here's Chris Sev from the Better Dev community doing a Node.js and MongoDB app for DigitalOcean. He's a DigitalOcean DevRel. And you can see it's got some likes and some comment counts. And we can go in and we can do all sorts of configuration stuff. We got searchable attributes. We got ranking and sorting. And I'm actually using likes and comment count in my little algorithm here to do some sorting based on that, which is super handy. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of other stuff we could do in here as well, but for the most part, I think we're okay. We might at some point look at doing some faceting. I already have facets set up for the tags, and each of our items in here have that. We just don't have the front end for it, but I don't think we need the front end at this point. But you can see over here all these tags, so we can say like, find me all the JavaScript, find me all the web development, et cetera, et cetera. So that's some cool functionality going on in there. But our point today, let's go ahead and minimize that for the moment, is to kind of get this up and running as I kind of see it. I've done a tiny bit of styling. We might do some more styling. I think I've got some inspiration from like Google Search Console. I might bring some page navigation to our left side and then have like kind of the main core areas over on the right. But for now, let's go ahead and get a link for each of these. And we can do that inside of our component, our instantsearch.jsx component. This is a React component, and even though we're using something called Astro, which actually has its own component language, we can actually come in here and use really most of the major modern libraries to play around with it. So we've got an instant search library for React at Algolia. Comes with stuff like pagination, the search box, hits, snippets, all sorts of good stuff out of the box, and it makes it a lot easier to deal with a lot of it. So I've got this. We have a highlight, but we need a link around this. So we got to figure a couple things out first. And I'm gonna be super lame, and we're gonna console log a whole bunch of stuff here. So we need to return that. We need to wrap this entire thing in some curly braces, and now I can console log my hit. So theoretically, I need to figure out we're not in Netlify Dev. That should get us some hot reloading, which should be handy. But you can see we're getting that hit back. Each of these is its own result. And I just want to kind of look at my data again real fast. I've got this object ID, which actually matches up against the YouTube video ID. So this is actually a video on YouTube. I then convert it over to object ID to use my Algolia index, which allows us to have kind of a one-to-one relationship there. So yeah, I'm going to grab this, and I think I got to remember how YouTube formats their URLs. So let's take a look. Let's grab. We'll just go into this. And let's just change this. I think it's this kind of V equals, and then it takes any of those IDs. Let's double check that. Yeah. So we can actually, hey, Ali, look, it was an Ali live stream, as it turns out. Fun stuff. So yeah, this is the actual structure that we want. So let's go ahead and add that in here. Again, I could probably mutate my data on ingest to actually create a URL, and that might be better. But for now, we already had this data. So let's say I can grab this. And actually, we need this to be a string literal. So we can use that. Anchor. Something's gone wrong here. Oh, yep. You expect this to be inside of braces. Not you, just, yeah, there we go. All right. And then this is going to become hit dot object ID, and then we need to close our anchor tag on the other side. All right, let's see. Didn't hot reload, which is disappointing, but now we have links to all these things. Undefined. All right, let's take a look at the data. Hit dot capital D on the object ID. And this, my friends, is why we always, always, always copy and paste. All right, so now refresh. Again, hot reload would be so handy here. Let's see, does this work? Is this the right video? Yep, Chris Sev in the house. Again, another live stream. Everyone's live streaming. All right. By the way, if you are hanging out in chat right now, do feel free to reach out and say hi. It makes me feel like I'm not just talking into the void. All right. So we have links. Again, like I've got like maybe grandiose ideas of putting this back into a grid view, which I had in my 11D example, and maybe putting the thumbnail in. But the thumbnailing in YouTube is a little bit strange. Hey, oh, what's up, folks? Long time no see. Hope y'all are well. I feel like I am the void, right? Could almost be like I am become darkness or whatever that is. All right, let's bail out on that on that console log. We don't need that anymore. Get out of here. All right. So yeah, so Coder Dustin, you were on in chat on Monday, right? Let's see. You got the highlight, got the snippet. Let's indent these for my own sake. Yeah, we had some issues at the end of the stream, and then luckily they got fixed up. I don't know if you heard earlier, but that was actually an issue with Astro, and they fixed it in the next branch. So so that was handy. That was good to get. All right, let's take a look at our list of what we want to get accomplished here. So add links, done. So now I can almost consider like this entire area done, right? We've converted from 11D to Astro. Oh, you weren't there at the end. That's fine. Yeah. But it was, I basically sat here for like 20 minutes trying to figure it out. And as it turns out, it wasn't my fault. I love it. All right. So we've got the list of videos. That's done. I'm thinking I'm going to create pages for a few things. Like maybe have the list be on a page, maybe have an updates page, and maybe have like an ingestion page. Or like, yeah, I'm not sure, but let's assume we're gonna make an updates page. I think so. Let's create a new Astro page, and we'll call it updates.astro. And we're gonna need to, I think, to do this, convert over to Astro's layouts. So I think I've got that pulled up. No, I've got styling pulled up right now. So let's see. Astro, first and foremost, in a lot of ways, is kind of a static site generator. So you get a lot of the same things that you might get out of a static site generator. So I need to make a layout, and I can put it in, source layouts, and call it whatever I want. All right. Source, we need a new folder, layouts, and inside that we'll make a base. I'm not gonna call it base layout. That's a lot. .astro, I think, right? Yeah, .astro. It's gonna take some front matter, which is nice, and that's a top level async bit of JavaScript that you can also do. And then you can get stuff off the props. And so title is apparently something that we can get. We'll see how that goes. I don't think I actually am defining that anywhere. And then I think most of what I want from index is going to come over here. So we'll leave all this, right? This is the header. And then we'll want a sidebar, and then this will be where we slot things in, and then /body and /HTML. So let's grab all that and bring it over to, got too much stuff open, y'all. Bring it over here. Keep our indents okay. It's not liking body for some reason there. Body has no corresponding element. Yes, you are correct. Body. And HTML has no corresponding element. So there we go. And then we need, I believe it's called slot. So let's see. Yep. It's a component called slot. Self-closing. And that should be all I need for the moment. Save this. And then on our page, we import that. All right. So let's import up here. And it's not base layout. It's going to be called base probably. And it's going to come from base.astro. Make sure that's correct. Lowercase b. And do we need to export? Is that something, or is that just automatically happening? Looks like that's automatically happening there. All right. And then we use, the default. So I'm going to actually call the default layout, I think. And then we basically, and then we give the prop there. That makes sense. All right, so title is a prop on that. We could pass in any data there if we needed to. So we'll have base layout title, and that will wrap all of our content, and that goes in the slot. All right. So layout title equals dashboard. And then on the other side, all this good stuff, we've got the other, and delete the nonsense from the end. Ooh. Don't know if I want any vocals on stuff today, Pretzel. I think there's actually a flag nowadays. Yeah, we're going to flip the instrumental flag and skip this one. It was kind of nice, but competing vocals, not going to be good. All right, so we've got a layout. It's coming from layouts base, and then inside of that is the content for this home page. I think that's making sense. Let's make sure I didn't break anything. Everything's looking good there. And just as a note, because of the way this islands architecture is happening, for those of you who are unfamiliar with Astro, we actually have some things building statically, some things coming in at client load time. So the big thing is like this header and some of the basics. This is all being built statically in HTML with no JavaScript being shipped to the front end. And then here we've got kind of our initial interactive rehydrated area, which actually comes in as the React instance search, but the search box is actually getting generated statically by Astro. And then when it hydrates the search results, which is kind of nice. I kind of liked how that happened. So yeah, so we also have pagination at the bottom. It looks terrible right now. Haven't added any styles to that, but we got pagination out of the box with instant search, which is nice to have. All right, so we got our layout. That means we can use this layout in another page. So we've got updates.astro. Let's bring all that in. And then we've got another layout here. And we don't want search. Thank you very much, GitHub Copilot. Let's just put it like an H2 here for now. So now, in theory, we should have an updates page. Yeah, there it is. All right, updates page. Hi world, huge, huge. All right. So now we can actually start kind of building this out, and also probably start building out a navigational structure as well. I like that the actual layouts actually showcase a navigation. Like that belongs in the base. I appreciate that. Interesting that I like how they're like, nah, let's not even put URLs in here. And since this is just a just static HTML at this point, it can really be whatever it needs to be. I'm going to put this after this header, and it's going to have a nav here, and we'll have home's fine, update, controls, and we'll call it channel ingest maybe. So this will be at /updates. This will be at /, and we'll call this /channel maybe. That's how you spell channel, right? I hope so. All right, so now we should have something ugly up top when we refresh. There it is. We'll make that into a sidebar nav, I think. But for now, we can go to update controls, go home, and then go somewhere that doesn't exist yet. Let's go ahead and make that exist as well. Get all of our boilerplate kind of coming out. new file, channel.astro. And then let's grab all of this as well. So we also need to put some props on this, right? So title is going to equal ingest a channel of videos. Hey, first time chatter, welcome. We're going to go with Jahosali. We're going to go with that. Appreciate you chiming in. I hope your day is going great today. Feel free to ask any questions along the way. We're talking about Astro today, but you don't have to ask questions about Astro. We can talk about Algolia. We can talk about Jamstack, static sites. 11D is a big topic I like to talk about. So yeah, whatever you got going on, let's chat. Let's also add into our base.astro. Let's use that title. That title is currently, we're not using it anywhere. So let's make a full title up here. YouTube ingest dashboard, and let's have it start off with title. Is that how I'm going to call it? What's it look like in the docs? Yeah. Okay. Single curly brace. Save that. Dashboard. Awesome. And when we go to update, we get nothing because I haven't defined that. And when we go to channel, ingest a channel. Juho. Excellent. Again, that could also be a mispronunciation, and I apologize if that's the case. So let's pass that into our updates as well. Let's not forget that. Title equals update individual videos or all videos, because we're going to do a couple things there. And then in our base, let's also display that title. Let's put it like right above the slot, and let's just have maybe the H, I guess it's an H1, right? And we'll have that be the title here. All right, and just a channel of videos. Excellent, excellent. And you can see I haven't done a whole lot of stuff to make that look nice. Home. We have this container. We should probably go ahead and wrap. I don't know if I want to wrap everything in that container. I think I do. I think I want to wrap that. So in our base, our slot, let's have our slot be wrapped in the same thing that the index is. Hey, Coder Dustin, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. So we've got all of this, right? We've got stripe, dark, and container. All of this needs to go in. Oh, it's all right. It's easy to forget to hit the follow button. And you know, like for the most part, like what do follows do anyway, right? Maybe you'll get a notification. Maybe you won't. I don't know. Let's see. So back in our base, let's wrap our slot in those divs. Again, this is just mainly styling to a degree. And there we go. So, oh yeah, you get the 50. Hold on. I mean, there's not a whole lot of people watching right now. Let's see, Coder Dustin, right? So we're gonna go on over to twitch.tv/Coder Dustin. What do you talk about on your stream? What kind of stuff are you working on over there? Click the about. All right, lifelong student, musicaholic. Nice. Oh, you were doing TypeScript today? Or you were doing TypeScript today, or you are going to do TypeScript today? I suppose is a good question. Let's see, get this link on in here. You did. How'd that go? TypeScript is something that I use and like can figure my way through, but I haven't done a full like deep dive into setting it up. And so it's a little, the setup and then like the overhead still break my brain every once in a while. But it's important. Like there's actually a lot of great stuff that comes from statically typing your JavaScript. And I'm gonna be working on a CLI soon, and I'm gonna write it with open CLI something, open oclif.com, I think is what it is. And I'm gonna write in TypeScript because statically typing is especially important when you're doing like real stuff. So yeah, everyone go. I posted the link in chat. Everyone go follow Coder Destin. Let's get him to 50. Because yeah, that the nice thing is when you hit 50, you get stuff like your channel emotes, and I love channel emotes. They're my favorites. Say hi to Pixel. Pixel is my channel mascot. I used to have Pixel on my my overlay, but my overlay is completely broken nowadays. So yeah, it is you hit that affiliate mark and you get some nice stuff out of it. Like I wish Twitch just I wish the follower count didn't matter. I wish it was like you are dedicated to streaming. You have streamed like the streaming hours and the consecutive and all that like that. Okay, I get it. Give the functionality to people who are like a little bit more dedicated. I get that, but like follower accounts can be a little iffy. So yeah, so we've got this wrapper. I need to get all of this stuff probably into the wrapper. Yeah, we're gonna be changing some of this stuff up anyway. Yeah, halfway there with the follows. You went from 23 to 25. Let's see that number go up a little bit. Let's see. 26. There we go. It's happening. Anyway. Hey, every little bit. As far as I know, the page is missing the doc type. Quarks mode will mess up a few subtle things on you. Oh, am I missing the doc type? Let's see. Yeah. I don't know. I haven't written like HTML in a while, and like I usually just open up new document, and I come down here. I'm like, I want this to be an HTML page, and then I say HTML5, and get all that right. So it's really easy to forget those little base pieces when we have so much going in there. But yes, good call on that. I don't know if it was actually messing anything up at that point, but yeah, it can. It can do some wonky things. So yeah, so let's continue our wrapping exercise here. We got all of that. Let's go into index needs to change because we just need the search in there now, right? And updates doesn't need any changes, I don't think. And where is channel? There's channel. Channel doesn't need any changes either. So this is fine. The title needs to probably move in there. And then updates, channel. Okay. Cool. So let's move into our base again. Let's move our H1 into our container. There we go. And technically we're going to want our nav inside of our stripe, I think. Probably rename that. But for now, move this here. All right. Should be using two spaces for my tabs, but you live and you learn. All right. So all of that's good except for the styling. Don't need the high worlds anymore. So the next thing we're gonna do is we need to make a couple simple forms on these pages that are gonna hit our endpoints to actually do some work for us. And we might need to go in and actually change our. I don't know if anyone heard that. My office has a cat in it, and we have an automated cat feeder, and it just gave him his little portion, and it's a cute little portion. All right, so we need forms. Let's do our updates page first. I think I've got. We'll start with this update counts, and that's just a button. Yeah, we'll call it updates, or yeah, let's do updates. All right, so we don't need the hello world anymore. We're going to create a simple form. So we're going to have form. The action is going to go to Netlify functions. Our first one is going to be let's update the counts. So update counts. And all I should need on this is actually just to submit that form for now. Yeah, because that's actually what it does. Thank you, GitHub Copilot. That was super handy. Update all videos is in fact what that does. All right, update controls. So we had this button. This is going to do some weird stuff, I think, because I don't actually have the serverless function geared to handle this. But let's see what happens. Not found. Okay, that's fine. Localhost 88. Oh. Huh. So this is reading it as, okay, as a page. It wants that to be a page. So I wonder how I handle that. Astro JS serverless function. This smells all the more like yet another another small blog post. Ooh, let's see. Netlify might already have it. All right. Storefront API, sure. Astro and React, Unified Start, Shopify. Set up a Snowpack config to make sure your functions work. Add serverless function. Okay. So we need a serverless config. That's fine. Okay. You might be wondering why MJS. That's because ECMAScript module system, which can research. Yes, sure. Populate with the following. So we're going to need the env in there. Do I already have a Snowpack config? No, I just have an Astro config. So let's add that. New file, snowpack.config.mjs, I believe is what that said. Netlify coming in clutch here. All right, so let's take a look at what's happening here. You got netlify URL, process.env.netlify, and it's going to check the URL, or it's going to check that and grab the URL, otherwise localhost 8888, which is what we want. That's fine. This allows us to find out which environment we're using in local development or prod. Netlify CLI can now use this to run the serverless functions locally or in production. Any variable set up in this file can be accessed via import meta.env, which is the blog post that I wrote, because that's not super clear from the documentation. So then we add serverless functions. Shopify React Astro. Okay, I think I understand what's going on here. So we've got all of these, all right. And then we're going to build the full URL, which is, I feel like that's a little unfortunate, but I think that's okay. Let's go into source and let's see if we can find it in the repo. Netlify function within this repository. Nope. All right. So so that will probably be in the cart. Yeah. Okay. Here it is. Right. So this is from Cassidy Williams. So we're gonna look for. Okay. She's fetching off of that, and so I don't need to fetch. I need that to be part of my. We're gonna need to restart to be part of my form. All right, so we changed the config. That's good. And now we need to come into, what file were we in? Updates. Oops. Netlify dev helping me out, actually making things a little harder. All right. So we need inside of updates. This form action actually is going to be this, I believe. I had that wrong anyway. Hold on. I had that URL wrong anyway. Let's see if this just works. It needs to be /.netlify. I don't think that's going to help, but I got to know. I got to know if that's okay or not. Hey, that works. See, okay. We don't need environment variables. Goodness. So, yeah, this is actually expected behavior here. It runs an update against every video in my index, which feels like it could be problematic later on. It's okay right now. And then it gives me like all the updates. So what we need to do is also probably have this happen via Ajax, right? If we're calling it that still. All right, so that's all updating. We can actually probably take a look in our index. I don't know if necessarily any of these will have changed, but let's see if this top one has any more likes or anything. No, 99 and 9. That's interesting. Oh, 98. It's interesting that these. All right, let's see if they're accurate, right? So let's grab this object ID, and let's open up YouTube /?v equals that. Right? That's what we did before. No, nope, that didn't do it. All right. So yeah, it's got 112 likes. So something's going wrong there. Let's take a look at our console. Do we get any? So it fired. Oh, but yeah, it's. What am I doing here? What am I looking at? We need our function, and that function is update counts. I shouldn't need to pass anything to it. So let's take a look. We're going to grab all of our hits from our index and get their IDs. And then we're going to pass their IDs, and we're going to chunk them because YouTube wants them in chunks, because I can only do 50 gets at a time on that, I believe. And then we're going to grab all of those, and we're going to get their data and flatten their data. Otherwise, we're going to, what am I doing here? Video IDs. What am I actually checking it? Oh, okay, yeah, that's just chunking. That's fine. Yeah, if there's more than one chunk, it's running one of those, and if there's not, it's doing another. That's fine. And then we're normalizing. So let's in here console log data first, and see if we're getting the data we expect to be getting there. All right. Update all videos. All right. So for video ID this, there should be view count 102, like count 1, comment count 7. Do we have a title? I guess I'm not returning the title because I want my JSON to be as small as possible. So I'm not actually providing that in here. All right. So let's grab. Yeah, not going to find it based on ID. That's not a searchable attribute. I could make it searchable. We want to search on object ID. No, you're not in here? You sure? All right, let's see. Let's actually take the normalized videos. Good thing I console logged this all along the way too. Console log normalized videos. Grab the first of those. All right. And back to our update controls. Update all videos. All right. And that fired here. Okay. Yeah, that's the object ID. YouTube. Okay. Oh, it's me. Hey, who knew? That's me. 102 views, 1 like. All right, so let's go back. Hey, Ben, how's it going? It is me. It's me. Let's see. That was what? Live code. Sanity. How are you not in my index, me? That is, okay. That means I'm doing something wrong somewhere. Let's see. Let's go back and take a look at our index real fast. Move off of object ID, even though that is an object ID. Live code. Let's see. I see I should have, what I should have done, I should have set up channel name as or channel as a facet. That would have made my life a little easier. I could have found my own stuff better. But, you know, let's take a look at this real fast. Let's just take a look at Chris's video here. So it's still showing that 99 and 9. Huh. Okay. Well, we'll think on that. We'll think on that. Yeah. Let's work on. Yeah, we'll work on getting all of our videos for a channel. I think that'll be a good thing to do in the channel screen. Don't need this open anymore. Don't save. All right. Don't need our snowpack configuration open anymore. Don't need base open anymore. Channel. All right. So let's get a form in here as well. Form action equals, and we want this to be /dot, not //. Oh no, spam. No, I don't want to buy followers. Where are my controls? You know, it used to be much easier to deal with spam in here. I gotta find where that setting lives. We'll just deal with that for now. That's in my settings somewhere. What little gear? There's no little gear. It's been so long since I've had to deal with this. I think I need to go into my main channel, the chat inside the stream. Yeah, let me go twitch.tv, my own, and then turn that on for myself. Gear. Show moderation. Yeah, show moderation actions are turned on. Interesting. Yeah, I actually should probably be back into Streamlabs OBS, but I'm in OBS right now. Huh. Oh, mod view. There we go. Let's just there's a button there that says mod view. That'll be helpful. There we go. Man, I still don't have that. Interesting. Somehow not my own mod. How am I not my mod? Block terms, permitted terms, dashboard, subscriber only chat. Yeah, I've got all sorts of controls. All sorts of controls. Let's see. What you got for me, OBS? Maybe you've got it for me. Chat settings. Yeah, everywhere I'm at shows my chat settings having the powers turned on. Even OBS has chat now, has chat built in now, and there's not. All right, I'm going to turn off moderation actions and turn them back on. No, still nothing. That is highly frustrating. Yeah, Ben, OBS has chat built in now. Yeah, let's go test over in Coder Destin's channel. Yeah, I'll actually show you, right? So I've got, this is my OBS. This is a window that pops up when you're streaming in OBS now, which I hadn't in a while. And when I got this, it was nice. It was nice to see. But I click this, right? I click the gear, and I've got show moderation actions selected. And then it used to be it would pop up a little thing underneath it, right? Oh, Coder Destin deleting my message. Super weird. Super weird. Right, because I should be hovering over this and be able to get it. I feel like it should be there. But all I get is reply functionality. Wonder if I can, let's see. We'll go all the way. I mean, I should do that anyway, right? I don't actually want that on stream, right? But, you know, what if you enable show mod icons? I thought I had that enabled. Icons. Oh, oh, there it is. There it is. Yep. Here, bring it back over. Yep. I didn't have mod icons. I had show moderation actions. What, I mean, I feel like it should have just worked, right? I appreciate it, Ben. Good. Like, I feel like that was teamwork, right? That was some great teamwork happening. Yeah. Why would those ever be two separate? Like, maybe they show up as words, and that'd be fine. Like, icons aren't always the best accessibility, right? But like, wow, I'm blown away by that. What happens? So if I turn this off, oh, I see what that is. So check up here, right? One message was deleted by a moderator. That's what that controls. Moderation actions. No? Wait. Yeah, here it is. Where I banned, right? That's when I banned. That's what that shows. And then show messages caught by automod. Yeah, no, let's not do that. But yeah, okay. Yeah, it's show or don't show the actions taken by the moderator, not show or hide the moderator action things. Wow. Yeah. Well, you know, you're you're welcome, Duo. You're very welcome for that. I'm glad that this could come up. No, I'm with you, Ben. Naming things is incredibly hard, but I feel like that was wrong. I'm gonna throw that out there. I enjoy streaming on Twitch, and I agree naming things is hard, but I don't think that was right. All right. Yeah. Form with actions. Form with actions. So netlify function, functions, and then this one is get YouTube JSON, which is like speaking of poorly named things. Get YouTube JSON. I actually don't want to show the JSON anymore, but that's fine. Get YouTube. It's actually technically get videos by channel, I think. Get YouTube JSON. So that's what we wanted to hit. And we need to pass in a couple things here. And this is where we're probably going to want to, all right, let's see. We do need a channel ID. We do need max results, and we do need to submit. Thank you, GitHub Copilot. I appreciate that. Well done. Let me preserve my bandwidth and close out some of these things. Oh my goodness. My Twitter is blowing up. Why is my Twitter blowing up? Sorry, reading things off to the side. All right. We might actually dig in here in like, I don't know, 30 minutes and play around with some 11 stuff. A Twitter friend of mine, Katie Codes, who is an excellent tech author, has been having some issues with 11 serverless, and I don't have a good solution for her off the top of my head. So I did say I was going to take a look at this a little bit today. So yeah, maybe take a look at that here in a little bit, since that's part of that. So yeah. All right. So we've got a form. It takes a channel ID, takes max results, and then let's double check. I think I'm going to do a hidden field here somewhere. Query string parameters. Index is set to false by default, which is not what I want anymore. That's what I wanted to begin with. So let's make that set to true by default. All right. So, all right, chat. Anyone in chat have a YouTube channel or have a YouTube channel that they really appreciate that they think should be in my YouTube, my dev YouTube search results? Right now, let's see, I don't remember who all I've indexed. Obviously, Gift of Gwenu's in here. We've been looking at Chris Sev from Better Dev. I think Ben Traversy's in here. Hey, Ben Myers should be in here. I think we can all agree on that. Let's get your channel up. Awesome. Let's get some more subs over to Ben too. Like let's go do that. I don't sub much on oh, that's well, congratulations, Algolia is now following you. Uh, let's have my personal account follow you. That would be probably better. There we go. There we go. Yeah. I've actually, I haven't come in and are these mostly your live streams, Ben? Because I love the live streams and it looks like that's probably what's going on here. So yeah, definitely. Let's see if one of my commands still works. Let's see. Shout out. I think this is my command. D Myers. There we go. Thank you, Nightbot. I do. I'm bad at keeping up with streams, but I've watched. Let's see. I watched a little bit of the Houdini episode. I definitely watched the 11D one that you did with Zach a couple months back. Did a little bit of the debugging one. Again, like I come in and out. It's really hard for me to. See, just showing. Yeah, I'd be happy to come on. Absolutely. Yeah, especially like with some of the 11D stuff I've been working on, or some Algolia stuff. Like really, whatever. We can figure that out. Yeah, DMs are open, as they like to say. Cool. So what were we doing? We were going to bring Ben's videos into my search results. That's right. So we have a channel ingest page. It takes a channel ID, which we need to. Oh no. See, I got too many windows open already. Bad things are happening. All right, let's see. Click that again. Bring this over. Because I don't think the ID is not Ben D. Myers, right? It is this thing down here that they kind of hide away, but it's very important if you want to do anything with it. Best 11D intro. Well, I mean, I would say you can come on over to brianlrobinson.com and go to my 11D category page. Actually, let's see, brob.dev/11D. Let's see if that still works. Yeah. So I've got obviously a lot of 11D love, but I've got this create an 11D theme based on a static HTML theme, and I think it's a pretty decent intro to a lot of the concepts in 11D. It's a little bit on the older side now; it's a couple years old, but the basics are still pretty much the same. So I think it's a decent starting point. But anyone in chat, if you want to list out like your favorite 11D resources, Andy Bell has a course that was formerly a paid course, and it's free now. And it'll teach you like great front end development in general. Learn 11D from scratch. Is this right? Is this the right page? It used to look different than this. This content is likely out of date. This content, it's written out, May 2020. Oh yeah, definitely 11D meetup. December's 11D meetup. I'm presenting at. Yes. Andy's focus, Andy's focus on accessibility is great. But yeah, the 11D, learning 11D from scratch is pretty great. If you look, what is it? 11D.rocks is Stephanie Eccles, another great possum pal. 11D.rocks. So she's got a bunch of stuff in here, both her own stuff as well as some other interesting things, including some starter packs and all Twitch scenes in 11D. What? Sorry, rabbit hole. Steph, no, I don't need to be looking at this. Huh. Pre-show, post-show, breakman. Oh no. I gotta do this. Your scenes are 11D too, Ben. No, don't make me go down this rabbit hole. Embedded Twitch chat, nice. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We got to do that at some point. That sounds awesome. 11D plugin Twitch chat, nice. And now with Slinkity, like with Slinkity, you could do so much like with that as well. I really like the stuff coming out of the Slinkity team. Module exports. Nice. Interesting. Cool. Plus show my chat. Theme on demand Twitch chat generators. What? Stop it. Stop it with all this. What? All right. Let's see. Cards. There it is. There it is. What? Oh, no, I don't need to be thinking about this. All right. That's pretty awesome. Emote support. Heck yeah. I mean, there's emote support up here, but that's stream elements. Like, that's nothing that I'm doing. Man. Okay. Yeah, yeah. We might have to implement that at some point. That's pretty awesome. Show my chat. Cool. Very cool. Heck. What was I doing? Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay. Blah, blah. Close that. Close that. Close that. Here we go. All right. Channel ID. That's what we're doing. Channel ID. Ingest a channel. Ben, you don't have a huge number of videos, right? Let's see. Videos. Okay. I don't even know how to count that. 5 across, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. We're under 50. That's fine. All right. Let's see. So we will do that with a max results of 50. Okay. And again, not cleaned up or anything, but here's all the JSON from your channel. And in theory, this exists over in my index now. So back into my index. I got to refresh, I think. We were at 377 videos. We're still at 377. Am I pushing this to the right channel? Because the changes that were being made earlier weren't coming in here earlier. Do I know how my stuff works anymore? I mean, indexing can take a little time, but not for that many records. I think I'm pushing to the wrong data set. Oh no. Oh, that is the right one. Let's see. Video search. Yeah, that's too many. This is supposed to be my index. No, Ben's stuff is now all in my index, in my personal YouTube video stuff. Woo. Yeah. All right. I got to take something off screen real fast so I can change an environment variable. And you hackers can't get in and do anything. Oh no, I think it's okay. API key. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Netlify environment variables should pull from local first. I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna restart Netlify dev. Y'all pay absolutely no attention to all the messy desktop that you see behind you. Here, let's not be embarrassing. Let's go into head mode here. All right. Let's see. All right. Injected.end file variable, API key, build settings variable, app ID, and index name. Oh no. I changed things. All right. We'll do some real talk here in a second about what I changed and why that's a problem. But let's see. I had to do some stuff to make environment variables work on my on the front end, and I had to prefix things. And in doing so, Netlify in the admin was adding a whole bunch of stuff and pushing that down into Netlify dev and overwriting some stuff because of my serverless functions. It was pulling from, things. All right. My app ID, my video index, that should all be what I need to change, I think. This makes so much sense. I wish I had debugged this earlier. All right. Let's go back over here. All right. So in theory, luckily this video search is not an actual production thing that I'm doing. It was me actually building this first one. Oh yeah, you're not looking at myself anymore. There we go. Hi. Let me catch up on chat here. Good times. Introduced all the chaos. In fairness, Ben, the chaos was already here first. You've helped me debug the chaos, right? Because originally I ran this other function that we ran earlier, which I think was before you came on, to update all of the video counts, all the views and likes and comments, and it didn't work. And I was like, why isn't it working? Because it wasn't for this index. Let's see, good times, yeah. I would judge if it was clean. Yeah, desktops are fun. Giving a lecture the other day when I hit this cool stuff in front of the class full of students. Yep, yep, I love it. I used to teach HTML and CSS to journalism students, and like the great thing was like, I don't know why this doesn't work anymore. I genuinely think that's good for students. See, exactly. Not everything dev goes without a hitch. Yeah, and like debugging is a total mindset. And if you haven't learned to debug, like it's really hard to make good progress in your learning experience. And so like story time, right? But like when I started about 15 years ago, I was working at a newspaper, and we had an online department. I joined the online department. This was in like '07, I guess, the second online department I joined. And I'd gone from being mostly a content person, right? Like I did copy editing, I did posting newspaper stories to the web, but they had me like doing some WordPress stuff. This was, WordPress heyday, 2007. And I kind of knew what I was doing, and I learned as I was going. But at the time, there was a really great engineer that was on the team, and it was a really small team. It was like me, a designer, this engineer, and then like our manager, and that was it. And we, like, every time I had an issue, I was like, Brandon, I don't know how this works. Can you help me? And it was really handy. Like, he taught me a whole bunch. But like the big thing, again, the big thing, right? That like advanced my knowledge was when Brandon left. And that was probably a year in, right? So I'd learned a lot already. And he had helped me kind of learn to debug a bit. But mostly he would just tell me the answer, because he had his own stuff to get done. Like that's fine. Like it wasn't his job to kind of like raise me up in my knowledge. But like he left, and all of a sudden I was like, oh no, I gotta figure this out. And so like I at that point, obviously like we didn't have Stack Overflow yet, but Googling stuff was starting to have results coming in. And I was able to find a whole bunch of stuff like the docs, the WordPress docs, they're super messy nowadays, but they were super great, back in '07, '08, and like super handy. Like I learned how to think about things, how to debug things, and probably was like the biggest educational jump until like maybe like 8 years later, right? Like I learned so much in that time period. So yeah, learning to debug, super important. Seeing the debugging methodology people use is great. I also I would work with designers, right? And I consider myself like an information architecture, slightly UX design kind of guy. But working with like hardcore like Photoshop folks, I would pick up at least 2 or 3 new shortcuts, just like pairing with them about like whatever. And like I still have those kind of ingrained in me from that. So like pairing, working together with people, learning how they think and see the world, goes so far. Anyway, let's try that channel ingest again. I think I need to reboot. So yeah, the big point there. So I wrote a blog post, another one, about the issue that I had after I fixed the issue from Monday's stream, which was I need my environment variables because I'm doing a build with Netlify. I need environment variables for my front end as well, right? I don't want anyone to have to go in and edit code to make this work, ideally. And so I need those environment variables. You don't have process.env. You need import.meta.env, and you have to prefix your front end environment variables with Vite. It's a security measure. Make sure you don't leak sensitive things, because again, this is going into your code. It will be in your production build. So like it's like you have to really want this. Next.js does this. I think Gatsby does it as well. Most of the front-end frameworks that you might want to use environment variables for portability, they all do it. So yeah, anyway, this is fun because it's offline right now. So yeah, I need to restart to get those environment variables that I just did back in. And this time we'll take a look and we'll see if Netlify is reading additional things. Let's see. Here's the app. No, stop loading. Stop loading. Ah, I need an adult. All right. So yeah, ignored build settings for API key. That's good. For app ID, that's good. Video index. I had video index. I renamed it in my .env file to Vite, which I need to also put in my Netlify settings as well. So yeah, video index and Algolia app ID. Video index is the thing that was going wrong though. I was pushing to, we don't want to be open in this. I don't want to be open in this at all. Where is my proper, there we go. So yeah, I was pushing all of those changes into video search as opposed to dev YouTube search, which is what we're working on today. Same code base and like the same use case. But one is just like my videos and one's this idea of like, I've got this, YouTube, just dev YouTube thing going on. Anyway, so let's hit that button again now that we've got all of this. Let's see. All right. Channel ID, that. Max results, 50. Submit. Here's all the data goodness. And refresh. 377. We want more than 377. 411. So now we grab building APIs with Dino. Building APIs with Dino. And there it is. Also by tags. So theoretically, like Dino, if there were enough people that were tagging things, Dino, it would be there. You can see the highlighting working on all the description stuff down here. 3 likes, 2 likes. And again, we're using that as a ranking signal too, right? So if I were to come back to my front end, go back to the home page, and look for Dino, right? Interesting that these other ones, cloud chats. I kind of wonder how many of these have likes and stuff. But theoretically, it should be see, there's 17. Something's not quite right in my little algorithm, but it's a ranking signal, right? The more views, the more likes, the more comments, the more weight I add to these items. So kind of looking, I see demo. Demo's a thing too. We have some typo tolerance built in. Dino being a strange word is close to demo and detox. But again, those come in lower, right? This is a complete Dino. This is a complete Dino. This is not, so that comes in lower. So there's a lot of things around that. Ben's asking, curious whether you could add closed captions. You can. I haven't because the API is a little rough, but there's actually this cool project called Talk Search, which I usually look at in my other browser profile. I'll post this in chat. This is mainly built for like conferences, but if you go to Jamstack their website, and jamstack.org, jamstack.org. And they've got Jamstack TV. Where is Jamstack TV? This is using Talk Search. And this actually is searchable within the videos and spits you out to the exact place in the video that you need. So if we were to look up 11, let's see if we can find something. Nope. Let's think about something, maybe Node, something that's easier to say and find. Yeah, so here we go. From Jamstack Meetups, Jamstack Meetup number 16, the phrase from Node.js gives you safety, right? That's from the captions. That's from the transcript inside of YouTube. And then you can see here, when I click on this, it'll go to exactly the point in the video that's being talked about. That's super cool. It adds a whole lot of complexity to the data. You actually end up with 2 indexes to make it work. You end up with a transcript index and almost like a hash map kind of idea, right? You've got an index that has all of your IDs, an index that has all of your content, and you kind of put those together. And you do that so you can chunk them out. So each time chunk in the captions becomes its own record over in one index, and those map back over to the overall video record in the other index. So I can search for a specific area of a video. Super cool. For conferences, it's a free thing. There's an application to do it over in TalkSearch. I don't know how much we're doing on this anymore, but it's a really cool project. There's a lot of code overhead to it. Like I'm keeping this like pared down and like doing transcripts. The bigger you get in each of your records, the slower your search results can get. Like again, like file size of all this, you want to keep relatively low to keep speed, because speed is a really important factor in doing all these searches. So yeah, like I'm keeping it fairly low, but you like totally, that would go into your ranking, right? If like 15 times somebody's just on there going Node.js, 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 like maybe an ASMR stream, Node.js, 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 that would probably rank higher. But because there's also this kind of ordering to what is weighted a little heavier, it might prevent at least a little bit of that. And that's all done in the configuration too. So like you can see the title weighs more than tags, than description. Probably want that, right? Because the description or the tags, YouTube tags aren't like amazing in terms of what they should be. Like everyone adds like every combination of Node.js, Node.js search, Node.js this, Node.js this other thing. So tags are probably not the best ranking signal. So anyway, that's the index. But yeah, so we have that working now. And now we have Ben's awesome videos in our index. Super awesome there. So the updates should work theoretically. And we should see a bigger data set, right? Because before when we hit this button, it was actually a pretty small JSON object that we got back, JSON array that we got back. We should see something bigger this time because we should have more videos. Because what this function is going to do is it's going to go grab my index, grab all the video IDs out of it, and then go do the YouTube work and then update everything. So let's, what was it? It was Chris's video, right? Let's move this off to the side again. So in our browse, let's stop searching. So yeah, we want this one, right? I'm going to copy this just in case. We want making Node.js. We know that the likes went up to like 102, I think. So let's make sure that, we have it over here too. So nine comments, 3,700 views, and 112 likes. And let's map that over. Yeah, so 700 more views. So like it should be boosting itself, right? That's what we want to have happen. So theoretically, we push that button. Oh no. Can't find it. Did we not update that correctly? Yeah, we didn't update that correctly. All right, let's minimize terminal down. Let's go back to our updates.astro. And no, we updated that. Is that the wrong window? That's the wrong window. Here we go. Close out of that. Confusing me. All right, update all videos. There they are in all their beautiful glory. A lot of IDs. And so refresh this. Oh no, things are moving around. Because again, ranking signals, right? 9,916 likes. This video now comes higher in the default sort order. But Node.js, 112 likes, 9 comments, 3,700 views. All of that has been updated. Why this is coming up higher? Because it's got, yeah. Anyway, but yeah, you can see like the tags don't always make sense. 0 to 100K, that's foreign pop. Like he's got his own thing in there. Building in public, challenge. I wonder, let's do building in public and then no search. That's all Florin, it looks like. Yeah. But yeah, we can just look up JavaScript. So yeah, so then I kind of want another thing to update maybe a specific video. Because right now, the first idea around this was a Jamstack ingestion engine, right? So I made Netlify functions, and then I've got actually, interestingly enough, if this then that, and I have an applet. And the applet, what this is going to do is it watches my channel for any new video. When there's a new video, then fire this function, right? Netlify functions get YouTube. This is actually not the right function anymore, but do this, right? So that means that I can basically ingest one-off videos as they go forward. So like if we wanted to make sure that we always got Ben's videos, we could come in and do that. I might look at the if this and that API at some point and like make the dashboard able to like create one-off things around that. But like that was the initial intention. I do an initial ingest. I set up an if this then that, and then set up another if this then that to maybe weekly update all the counts or something like that. Like this idea in the Jamstack of amount of freshness that things need, right? So like certain things need to be updated on the fly and updated live. Certain things can be slightly slower and like figuring out the right cadence for that. However, if we have a dashboard and we have buttons and we have simple ways of doing that, maybe one thing that if this and that doesn't have is like, what if a video has its description or title changed? I have no way of re-indexing that right now, except for to do a complete index of all the content. Again, I don't want to do that. So I have a Netlify function that we can probably reuse and make some modifications to. Get YouTube by URL. And I think, actually, we might just be able to use this in general. Let's take a look at it real fast. It takes a video URL. I had to do video URL instead of video ID because if this then that, only it spits out the video URL. And so what we do is we split that based on the v equals, right? We grab that and then split it again on any ampersands and only grab that one little middle chunk. And then we grab all the data, and then what do we do with it for Algolia? So yeah, data for index is grabbing the title description, all the counts, setting up the object ID, if index, okay. Cool. Save objects, cool. So save objects is going to do an update, not a, pretty sure, I have to double check this. It's going to do an update and not a completely new record. So this should work for us. So I should be able to post to kind of post to this with a video URL. And again, we want all these to index to true now. This started life is just a way for me to get some JSON data. Like that's it. I kind of want to get this done. I'm going to go on James Quick's Learning Quick stream next week. And it'd be cool if I could just hand this to him as opposed to having to like do all this work. And then we can just make a front end, which can be way more fun. Record object. What am I looking at? I don't care about this one, right? Yeah, don't care about this one. All right. It should be next Friday. I don't think it's on his schedule yet, and I got to poke him about it. It's on my calendar because he has like integrations with Google Calendar set up, and he has a whole automation workflow. But it should be next Friday. We're going to talk about Algolia. I want to walk him through setting up all of his blog, course, and video content into a federated search front end, so that people can come in and like see all of his VS Code stuff, right? He's got probably like 3 blog posts, probably like 15 YouTube videos, and he's got a course about that. So I think that'd be really interesting to do. All right, let's see. Yeah, do I care about this? Get YouTube by URL. Index is set to true now. That's what we want. And so now we can build a little form to update a video. So let's do that in our updates page. Let's separate these by like H2s. Update all statistics for index. H2. This is going to be update all data for a single video. And we need a form for this. Action, no, not accept. Action is going to be /netlify functions get YouTube by URL. And then, I was hoping it was just going to spit this out for me. I love when GitHub Copilot works. It's trying. It wants to, but I can't find anything. All right. So we need an input, text, and we want this to be a name of what? URL? Nope, that's the wrong file. Video URL. Naming is so hard. All right. Name is video URL. And let's go ahead and have a label for video URL. These aren't going to look amazing, but let's have URL for video from YouTube. All right. And what else do we need? Do we need anything else there? We need a submit. Update this video. Oh, that's huge. Why is that huge? Oh, yeah. Okay. H2. Why are you huge? What have I done? Have I not closed something somewhere? Why are you huge? H2. Close H2. Looks like you've got a typo in video URL input. I probably do. ID. I do have that. Look at that. There it is. Awesome. Good catch. All right. Let's track down why this is so big. Ooh, thank you for the sub, Ben. I appreciate that so much. One thing that you get out of that sub is the amazing pixel emote. So be sure to use that wherever emotes may be used in the Twitch ecosystem. We do appreciate subscribers and all that good stuff. I don't remember which one is the tier 1 anymore, but have a pixel. Yeah, Pixel Heart. Pixel is my old mascot, and I don't know where Pixel lives anymore. I gotta find Pixel again. Pixel is just a pixel art unicorn that I had commissioned and had these emotes commissioned, and I love Pixel so much. My son might love Pixel even more. Why is that an H1? Am I in the wrong file? Updates. Updates.astro. Update all statistics. Oh, why isn't, what? I see. They're both huge. They're both giant. Why are they giant? I need to go in and change that. Oh, because I was testing things. I was trying to figure out some of the styling in Astro yesterday, and I made 100 pixel font size because that's what you do, right? All right, 2.5 rem. Okay, much better. Obviously, this is not like good UI yet. We'll get there at some point. So yeah, so update all data for a single video. URL for a video from YouTube. So cool. So we had this, right? Hey, there's comments on that. Interesting. Oh, you're great as an indie developer. Thank you. I'm not an indie developer anymore. Tier. Yeah, okay, so let's edit video. Also, this is the one, do I have any of my videos? I think, we'll need to do that. Yeah, you can see like I started, this was my last live stream until this past Monday. This was like, last January? 2020 November? Why am I guessing? I'm sitting here. I'm sure it's somewhere in this interface. Anyway, powering some demos with Sanity. Sanity being my former company. So we don't want to save this yet because I need to actually ingest my videos. YouTube. Let's grab my channel. I never set up a fancy URL for mine, so mine still has the ID in there. And let's go, instead of updating, let's go channel ingest, channel ID, I don't remember how many videos I have, but it's not huge. Let's just make sure it's at least 75. All right, and you can see that one's already in here. Oops. All right, so now we can go home. We can look at live code. Yep, here it is. And you can see broadcasted live on Twitch, right? That's what we've got there. So we can change this. Power some demos with Sanity. This is also a test of a new indexing method on Algolia. Why not, right? My own channel, I can do what I want. All right, saved that. So this video has no way of communicating back to my index. However, I have a URL. Unfortunately, that URL is not what my stuff expects. It's more like this. And we can come in, go to update controls, update this video. And again, you can see this like end featured. We don't have to worry about that because we're splitting that off the end as well. And update this video. Function not found. Okay, let's figure that out. I had so much confidence. That was too much confidence is what that was. Netlify functions, get YouTube by URL. I'm sure I just typoed. Let's copy and paste. Yeah, notice that capital T? That capital T consistency is important. I'm sure that, yeah, none of them have capital T in there. All right, so back that up, refresh, make sure we got it, and grab that one. All right. So hopefully I've done my work properly here. And live code. Sanity. Just making sure that I don't have any additional things. You can see I did 2 live coding sessions with Sanity stuff. Power some demos with Sanity. This is also a test. Updated. So now I kind of wonder what would happen if I deleted something. I do have to figure out deletion. I feel like that's a thing as well. Because you might need to delete something out of your index. And I don't think save objects with an, I mean, I suppose if I pushed a record in that had just an object ID and nothing else, that would be fine. But that feels problematic anyway. Yeah. Oh, so many messages over here as well. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm also getting like 11s. The 11s event is coming up. For those of you who are at all interested in 11, it is on 11/11 at 11/11 Pacific time, I think. Let me grab this real fast. It's put on by Henri Helvetica and the Jamstack Toronto community. I spoke at it last year, and that's why my Twitter is currently being blown up a little bit. Oh, you beat me to it, Ben. Dang. I was coming with the URL, but you were there before me. But yeah, so 11Ds is 11D content, 11-minute lightning talks on 11/11 at 1:11 Eastern time, which is that 11/11 Pacific? I don't know. So we mentioned Stephanie earlier. Creating collections. Collections are how 11D collects a lot of stuff. Miriam is amazing. I didn't know she was an 11D fan. She's got some amazing stuff for CSS and some other stuff. Let's see. Hey, Ben's gonna be there. Color contrast checker. I remember that. That's I based some stuff off of that. What you've got? Wow. Oh wait, no, sorry. Which Ben is in chat with me? Let me pull it up. Ben Myers. Yeah, and then Ben Holmes, who is doing the Slinkity stuff, is going to show off Slinkity, which I'm a big fan of. Building modern business card with 11D, Jamstackify WordPress with 11D. There's a lot this year. I think there were only 5 talks last year, so this is great. Ooh, I wonder what CMS they're integrating with. That's interesting. Most of the integrations I've done with 11D and CMSs have been Sanity in the past, because obviously that was where I was before. But yeah, Prismic. Oh yeah, Prismic would pair really well. Yeah, I don't know, Lucy. Let's take a look at that real fast. Yeah, that makes sense. That totally makes sense. It's like the talk I gave last year was data files. I love JavaScript data files in 11D, and I gave kind of like, here's a whole bunch of stuff you can do, and I showed off like I've got a meetup one, I've got like a whole bunch of stuff, and I was like, and it pairs well with sanity.io. So yeah, cool. Smash that follow. All right. Vue.js and Nuxt. Cool. And then also 11D as it turns out. All right. Let's see. Actually, if y'all don't mind, we can keep, I'll take a vote for those who are hanging out in chat with me. We can continue working on this. I've had a lot of fun working on it. We've made some progress. I've got these kind of set up. We can keep working on it. I'm cool with that. We can also work on 11D serverless a little bit, because I've got a question from the 11D community around it, and I want to look into it. So what do y'all think? Open either way to whatever y'all would like to do. No, Ben, you don't have any opinions. Come on. Okay, 11D. We have one vote. I'll sit back for a second and make sure there's not others. Okay, I think that's about it. So Ben says either way. Juho says 11D. Yeah, all right, cool. And Coder Destin is having to head out anyway, so that's fine. All right, so whenever you head out, Coder, thanks for hanging out with us today. Let me find the tweet and the problem so that we can talk about that a little bit. Have to get past all of the 11Ds stuff that's in my notifications now. All right, here we go. Bring this over. Kitty Codes, if you're not following Kitty Codes, she's pretty excellent. Does a lot. She's typically a backend developer, but talks 11D a decent bit, and has been doing some other fun stuff as well. But I made this 11D serverless search, which was an experiment around using 11D serverless, which is a cool 1.0 exclusive 11D feature, which lets you run 11D in serverless functions inside of really any serverless host, but it's geared well towards Netlify. And it takes some like mental changes to like really get into it. And so I've made a few things around that, but let's see. So Katie's saying how to get API return value into front matter page data, like in 11D computed, not just the HTML from the template. Because my solution uses 11D filters to handle doing the search. So let's see. She's going to make one. We've got a GitHub repository. And then so far it seems to involve two problems. JavaScript based rather than YAML based pagination. Okay. Doesn't like not having a build permalink. Interesting. All right. And then 11d.serverless.path isn't in scope at any point at which you can set front matter with a more normal dynamic path template. Okay. Yeah, that's definitely an interesting problem set. So let's take a look at. All right. Added 2 broken attempts. I love this. This is awesome. I might have to pull up one of my projects to really take a look at it, but let's see. API errors example. Okay, live site. Cool. Oh, this is perfect. Okay, this is actually a great reduced test case. So let's take a look at it. Let's see. Git clone. Let's tell Katie that. Let's see. Live tweeting. Super interesting stuff. All right. Let's see. So we want to come over here. We want to cd into, that is awesome. Let's get into code. And let's take a look at the architecture here. We need to go ahead and run npm I. And let's see what all we've got. Zip codes. All right. Using node fetch. Sure. All right. Raw data fixed. Wait, let's take a look at what our serverless functions are. Serverless bundler, liquid options, pass-through copy, short code. Okay, filter, serverless. Here we go. All right, so a few things happening. What this does is it creates a name for all of our serverless function stuff. First request render, and then we've got a directory that will live in, which is typically the Netlify functions directory. And then, let's see. Okay. And actually, I'm going to let 11D generate this, I think. Maybe not. Let's see. Okay, and then she's running it as a Netlify on-demand builder, which caches hard. So that's good to know. And let's see. There's also an always render. And this is not. Okay, so every request on that. So then we've got, let's see, pages. We got to find our pages in here. So we have all these different pages. Wow. A lot of different things in here. All right. So we've got some JSON files. The JSON files are going to handle setting up data. Data from data. I like that. But I just kind of want to let's look at this. All right. So we've got layout standard header footer dot liquid. Okay. And build on first request. First request render is the name. And it's got tags. Okay. So let's see if we can see what our run script is. Netlify, or do we need to run Netlify dev? No, we need to run npm run dev. And we'll see what happens here. We'll see what we get. All right, so you can see it went in here. It actually created a whole bunch of stuff. Whoa, so much stuff in the console. Created a whole bunch of stuff inside of those functions. And then we have a local host to look at. All right. I am the homepage. My HTML was built at site publish time. Excellent. So, build first request. I was rendered. This shouldn't change when you reload the page or visit from a new browser, but it should match the home page. Oh no, the sitemap only includes this page. There's no way home. Awesome. All right, so what should we get displayed here? That's the next question. All right, so let's take a look at that page, which was what? What was that page? I shouldn't have closed it. First visit? Is that what it was? Yeah, here we go. All right, so this is the permalink basically. And H1, I'm rendered at first page view. Let's close out that. We get now stamp string. Okay. Oh no, the sitemap. Okay, yep. So now stamp string should kind of wonder what the purpose here is. Let's take a look at one of the broken ones. Singleton homepage, singleton serverless, always fresh. Okay, always render this. Always rendered at. Okay. So let's localhost 8080, always render this. Can't be found. Do we need the trailing slash? Yeah. I was rendered at, okay, last rebuild is here. That should change every reload. And then this is rendering every time. And it really shouldn't be. if it's the builder direction. But maybe I think maybe locally builders probably are always. It probably doesn't cache locally. So what we want and what Katie's looking for is getting data using information from permalink, I think. Let's reread the problem set again. All right. So originally, you figured out how to get your API return value into the front matter. Page data, 11D computed, not just the bottom HTML. Okay. 2 attempts that didn't help anything or suffix broken. But it seems like kind of a hack you'd be into, yeah. So far, it seems to involve 2 problems. JavaScript-based rather than YAML-based pagination doesn't like not having a build. Okay. And 11D serverless path isn't in scope. So yeah, let's take a look at what we kind of get. See what happens when we change this to JS. So JS, these all need to be strings, I believe. And then permalink will now be an object that will look like this, I think. Tags can still be an array. That. Nope. All right. Unexpected token. Unexpected token. Oh, because it's probably... I got to remember how the syntax works. So 11d.dev into the docs. We're going to go into JavaScript front matter. Do you need curly braces around the front matter? It's possible. The problem is I don't remember exactly the way that JS front matter works. Oh, is it JS or is it, oh, it's JSON front matter. That's right. Oh, here we go. JSON. Oh yeah. So we need, yep, it's gotta be the object syntax. Good call, Ben. So, and do they need to be, yep, let's, all right. That works better. Okay. So, mind they always render this? Okay, so we are getting an error when we try to run that. So why are we getting the error? Okay. Couldn't find any generated output from 11D. URL path parameters. Yeah, I bet she's absolutely right on this. I bet if we have build something and we go to something, right? Couldn't find any generated output from 11D. Huh. Let's see. Somewhere along the way, we're console logging. I like that. All right, status code 404. All right. Reading front matter from this template. Yeah, what's the, okay. Syntax error was thrown, unexpected identifier. What? Comma on the end of each line, really? Yeah, it's an object. It's an object. If you want object notation, you gotta have object notation. This is when I created a blog post around the first, one of my first serverless attempts. I think I had to do some conversions over to JS, and like having to go through and do this conversion was like, so annoying. Okay, so now this page works, but it's only working at the build. And what if we try the serverless render? Seems to be working. Hmm. All right, but then we can use this and we can create some data based on the data in the stack at this point, in the data stack at this point. So we could set does that have to be inside of 11D computed? No. Okay. So all right. So we can create a new thing. We'll call this test variable. And we want this to be a function, which is going to take data, I think, as an argument. And console log data. Oh, errors. Okay. Errors are good. Errors let us know we've done something wrong. Like, forget a comma. All right. Scrolling. Oh, so many pages. Let's wrap that there. Okay. All right, maybe console log driven development on this won't work. We might need to test this over in a log down here. So let's return data. And let's run data log, I think. What? Or is that going to be down here? I can never remember. Undefined. Undefined. Because it's not data, it's test variable. All right. Still undefined. When in doubt, restart just to make sure. Still undefined. All right, let's just run a quick test. And let's return here. And of course that worked. All right, so data is undefined. There's a way of getting this. I can never remember what it is. I thought I might have to pull up another Git project that I've got. All right, let's look at GitHub. What was the name of that project? Mix and match, I think. 11D mix and match. All right, and then I've got index.liquid. Nope. Post.json. Nope. It's in the date. I thought I had data in this. Oh, that's right. There's a different branch. I did it this way. There we go. Data. All right. So we have a data folder in here, and then we have a sanity post template and raw. So JS, we get this pagination stuff. Okay, yeah, it's got to be inside the 11D computed to use data. All right. I knew there was something like that. I knew it had to be like that in some way. So 11D computed. Don't forget our comma. And let's not do all of these. And so let's just send data all the way down so we can take a look at it, and we'll say test variable. That should log a whole bunch of stuff, lots of stuff. All right, so we're getting tons of stuff in our, so we're getting our zips in our collection. That's coming from a data file. We're getting pages. We're getting all the page information, layouts, permalinks, package. It's interesting. Okay, we have 11d, but we only have 11d.env. Okay. We have all these zip codes. There we go. All right. So we've got our zip codes. We got the 11d variable, but the 11d variable doesn't have the serverless stuff, which I suppose makes some amount of sense, right? Because this is build time. This is that console, that log is happening at build time. Theoretically, this should also happen at runtime on this path, right? Okay, so that loaded and it ran here. Let's take a look at our 11d object here. Has serverless, has query and path. Okay. So if I were to do this for my serverless search and I wanted the data in my front matter, I would do 11d computed and I would, okay. I'm trying to think of a good reduced test case here. Okay, so let's take stock of our assumptions real fast. Our assumptions are that build permalink. That is true. That's a true assumption right now. That it's going to error if you don't have that. True assumption. 11d serverless path isn't in scope at any point at which you can set front matter with a more normal dynamic path template. Okay. By that would be like setting up an 11d computed permalink. Let's see if there's anything else. Okay. Let's ask. Is the goal to get serverless info, that would be query or path, into any random 11d any random front matter data. Because like this is a small price to pay potentially, right? Like having a bad build URL and having to build a version of this, that feels like a bug, right? Like that feels like we can report that into 11d and say this is a problem, right? Because that shouldn't be the case. You shouldn't need a build permalink to use JS front matter, right? That's a bug. But for now, like, right, you can just blah, 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 blah. And it renders that page one time. And that's not the worst thing in the world. So the next thing would be, can I then fire some sort of function in this 11d computed based on the serverless information? Which it feels like yes. It feels like yes. But I also wonder if that would cause an error. So we'd have to do some checking against it, right? So let's go ahead and do some manipulation. All right, we don't need this anymore. So now we want to grab the 11d information, right? So let's go ahead and keep returning data so we can get a look at that when we need to. And what we want is 11d serverless, and let's maybe assume query, path. I don't think it really matters. We'll do, this is inside of a non-on-demand builder, so we can use queries if we want. So let's grab serverless. So this will be const query thing equals data 11D serverless query. Query dot something, right? You have to have kind of a dot something on that. Let's just get the entire query for now, and let's return that. Errors, okay. Okay, that's fine. I mean, it's not great because obviously you don't want that. So we would say, we'll short circuit this, right? So we'll return, so if not data dot 11D dot serverless, right? That should work. Then return empty string. Okay, no errors. So let's document that. Short circuit for when not serverless. All right. So then we're here and we refresh and we get information over here. We get blank. So that means we need to send a query. Something equals this. And we get that. All right. So that means if we want to do something with that, we would basically do anything we want with it here. So if I were to do this in my Algolia example, I would make an API call to Algolia and base that off of the query that comes in. So it would actually be query equals, I think my examples have been like 11D. And so in my example, what I do is I take that query and then I pass it into a template variable and I run that through I run that through a filter that does all of this. And maybe that's not actually the best way of doing it. Maybe this is actually a better way of doing it. So I would take it and I would grab the query, right? And then make API call, then return result of API call. So again, you have to make sure. So if we didn't have query, let's go ahead and do query. We get, oh, that's right, naming. Like, again, naming super hard, right? Serverless query here. Query dot query. Awful. All right, that all builds, good. Send that in, and now we get just the string of 11D. All right, let's see. So if I were to do this, let's just test it against Algolia, right? npm I Algolia search. And let me go grab the code that we need for that. Let's do serverless search in this user. Yeah, here we go. All right, so what I do, again, I did this final main thing. I don't think I should do that anymore. It makes things super confusing for me. So I get that. So I create this search, and then I get a get result filter, which takes the query. Oh, see, I have to do all of this, right? So I don't know how well this will play. See if I should be able to do this. This should be a thing, I think. So inside this, const Algolia search, and actually what we want here is light. And then we have to initialize all of that inside of here. That's fine. And let me grab the stuff I need from this. This will go into serverless. Oh, no. CD. What was that called? 11D search. That didn't work. Why did that work? Code here. Oh no, there we go. Okay, cool. I thought it was broken for a second. And then I don't think there's anything in my end file that I care about. Nope, all this is good. All right, so we need this again. And I'm just gonna, Let me search, go into that end file because I didn't copy. Copy. There we go. So what we need is the app ID. And again, this is all publicly available anyway. It's just portability. We need the search only key. Again, you can only run searches using this key, so that's fine. And we need the index name, which is this. So we don't need any of this anymore. So now we should have an index available to us. And so I don't really want to run any of that. So this obviously needs to come after our short circuit. Initialize API. And then we make the API call down here based on that. So we do, what is it? Index dot search. I'm terrible at this sort of thing. Let's see, Algolia search npm. All right. Dot search. Yeah, dot search, and we pass the query into that. And then we don't have top level await at this, so we've got to do some thens. So let's see, search, we're going to pass that the query thing. And then, so we're going to actually return this. Return index, then result. And I think we can return, let's see. Yeah, we got to destructure the hits off of that. And we can return the hits. Maybe. So parentheses, hits, return hits. Okay. No errors. That's good. And all we're doing is console logging, and we're getting it. Okay. So instead of test variable log, let's do a loop through this. So we need an 11D or a liquid for hit in, what do we call that? Test variable. Awesome. In test variable. And we want hit dot title. And let's put just a little HTML around it just so we can see stuff a little better. And we need obviously this to be wrapped in our curly braces. All right. And there they are. Okay. This is actually like, this is probably how I should have done it in my example. Let's see. Wow. So many messages. So many messages. All right. I think this is a solution. I don't know if it's a solution to the problem, but I feel like it is. right? This is working. And I think it probably makes way more sense than how I did it before. So this is, let's see, we do need a build. This feels like a bug. Okay. All right. I know this is like maybe super esoteric to folks that aren't familiar with all of this. So if you have any questions, like let me know. Because there are a few of you hanging out, and I appreciate you hanging out with me. I'm probably going to call the stream done here in a few minutes, but I feel like this is a relatively good solution. You have to get past the fact that we do have this bug that we should report to 11D. And then once you get past that, you have to make sure that you short circuit, right? Let's break this onto its own line. The downside is that there's no color coding in this, right? There's no front matter JS stuff. So short circuit for that, yeah. So no build errors. Ideally, when build is no longer required, this can go away. And now I'm kind of wondering, like, did Katie solve this in another spot somewhere? Like, let's see. I guess she's got this, right? Async data, okay. What am I looking at? This is this is, okay, yeah. So I think what Katie's doing is leveraging a JS data file inside of this. Let's see. But I do wonder if you get, okay, I see what she's doing here. She's setting up that permalink. And she's getting URL zip, so she's using path instead of query. And place name. I don't know where place name is necessarily coming from, but yeah, I think that's interesting. So let's package this up into a branch. I probably should have forked this. I never think about forking. Git checkout b computed front matter. Front matter with the Algolia solution as a test. I doubt I've got any permission on this. Origin, computed front matter. Yeah, let's fork it and then battle through Git, because I always forget the command I need to do this on. Fork into, where am I? Why can't I fork into my personal GitHub? Oh, this is because this is mine. Where is Katie's? Probably. All right, let's go in here. Grab that from Katie's question. There we go. In here somewhere. All right, here we go. Fork into mine. And then always have to look up change remote. remote v, check to see what get remote v are Katie's, and we need to get remote add. So let's grab what we need from my new repository for that, which is where? Seriously? How did I lose it so fast? There we go. All right. So this is my new remote. So that is get remote add, I believe. Get remote add. Is that not the right syntax? Get remote add takes 2 arguments. Origin, that's right. Get remote add origin. That. Is there a remove? All right, yeah, it's up here. I saw it. It's here. Oh, origin already exists. Yeah. Let's see, renaming an existing repository before you. No, deleting the existing remote. Here we go. Get remove. Get remote. RM destination. Remove the old and then add the new. Yeah, exactly. So get remote, remove origin. Get remote v, nothing. Get remote add origin. Get remote v. Okay. Get status. Get push origin computed front matter. There we go. Nope. All right. And then let us pull request that in to Katie. Results of some testing with Algolia API. Got 11D computed up and running with serverless in, which file was that? This one. Looks like you do need both JS data, front matter, and a build permalink. Feel like needing the build is a bug and should probably be reported. Not sure if this solution makes sense. Cool. All right, y'all. Well, thanks for hanging out with me today, especially those of you who've been in for most of the long haul. I've got to get a couple administrative type things done before the day completely gets away from me. Yeah, so we played with some Astro, did some other stuff. Maybe we'll do some more next week on that YouTube ingest. I need to start maybe doing some styling. I haven't written CSS in a while. I used to be good at it. We'll have to see if I'm still good at it. But yeah, appreciate y'all hanging out. Let's see if there's anybody to raid. We're not very many, but we might as well raid. Share the love. Do I have anyone? Code Rush is streaming. I don't know what he's up to. It's usually fun times over there. So let's get that. Let's start the raid. And yeah, thanks so much for hanging out, and we'll see you next time, hopefully sometime next week. So do raid with us. as we go over to Code Rushed.